everyone, welcome back to the LMC channel. I'm your host Liam, and today we'll be reviewing the latest chapter in the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise, Sonic Frontiers.
Yes, Sonic the Hedgehog, a character who was once the most beloved video game character of all time, who fell from grace and became a butt of a joke on Twitter.
Sonic is never good. If you disagree, you can call the cops.
However, Sega and Sonic Team, over the past few years, have been trying to bring back that trust they've lost with fans, and we're looking to do it with Sonic Frontiers. I, myself, have never really been a Sonic fan, always really preferring Mario, but over the years, I began to enjoy a lot of Sonic games, such as the classic Genesis games, the Adventure Duology, and even some of the Boost games. But with Sonic Frontiers, Sonic Team was taking Sonic into a completely new direction, one that the franchise has never taken before.
So, will Sonic Frontiers be an outstanding new journey for the franchise, or a cluttered mess of a bunch of ideas? Let's find out.
Also, I noticed that 80% of you guys aren't subscribed, so if you kindly would just do that, I would appreciate that, because that would be great.
Okay.
Also, leave a comment below and likes. Anyways, on to the video. The story of this game is actually pretty interesting, and a lot better than the boring and confusing story we got in Forces. Honestly, I felt that they did a pretty good job seamlessly explaining everything to me. Dr. Robotnik has created this advanced AI, who later takes on a physical form known as Sage, to help him study the ancient technology of the Starfall Islands. Sage finds out that something isn't right with the island, and traps Eggman into a place known as cyberspace, to protect him and everyone else who comes onto the island. Meanwhile, Sonic, Tails, and Amy are headed to the island to investigate why the Chaos Emeralds were brought over to the islands, when all of a sudden, they're brought into cyberspace, with Sonic being the only one to escape. Once out, he is told by this strange voice that he is the key to tearing down the dimensions. And Sonic is like,
"Yeah, I don't care. I just want to free my friends."
and so he goes out on another adventure to find the Chaos Emeralds and save his friends. Ian Flynn, a longtime Sonic fan, worked on this story, and it's not bad. It's a nice start. I like how it gives a mystery about the islands and Sage, and it gets players curious to want to see more of the story as it progresses.
The presentation for this game is beautiful on everything besides the Nintendo Switch. Sorry, Nintendo Switch owners, that was not a jab at you.
Moving on, I never really had a problem with the realistic setting the game takes place in, since Sonic has been in realistic settings before, and it worked perfectly fine for him there. So I don't see any problem with an island containing a few Unreal Engine objects. Sure, it feels like the "Sega, hire this man" meme, but again, it doesn't look out of place for Sonic to be here. I enjoyed gazing at all the sights in a Sonic game of all things. This really is experiencing Sonic like never before. Other small details I like are that on the desert island, Sonic will collect sand in his shoes, the sunset in Green Hill and Sky Sanctuary, the sun rising on the first island, the ancient tunnels above and below the islands, this cave on the final island, and the sky also on the final island. All these things help to add to the experience and allow me to have a positive viewpoint on the game's atmosphere. There are also 5 islands in the game, though the 4th island is just the first island with 6 towers on it you have to shut down, and the 5th island just reuses the first island's textures. So really, the levels go like this: grass, desert, volcano, grass, and grass. And I was expecting the final island to be an ancient city with abandoned buildings all over the place, but I guess that takes way too much time. When Sonic is running around these open worlds, open zones, sorry, Takashi Iizuka, it feels really good to boost around these islands to get from one place to another. The Lightspeed Dash is back, but he goes to a screeching halt after using it. The Drop Dash from Sonic Mania is back, but you're not going to be using it for a lot of stuff. While you're running around these islands, these signs with question marks on them will appear. These are little challenges that you can solve, and more of the map will open up for you. These challenges can range from pressing a button, to running in a circle, to playing jump rope, playing Tetris, walking on these tiled squares. Probably that's the most fun you're going to get out of one of these games. The most annoying one has to be the basketball minigame. Sure, when you first play it, it's not so bad, but later on you have to put the ball in multiple holes, and for the longest time I couldn't figure it out. And you want to know what the solution was for how to finish the challenge? You have to homing attack from the ground to get the ball in the hole. In every other Sonic game, my mind is told to jump and then homing attack. So not being able to jump threw me off, but the rest of the challenges weren't so bad, though the ones that were night exclusive were a bit of an annoyance in the game. Sonic isn't able to jump to defeat his enemies. Here, he has to go into combat and fight the enemies to defeat them. These fights are pretty short and don't take up too much time, even if they become annoying after the first island. I had no problem with them being a one-button mashing extravaganza. One call I can give about the game is that the parry move isn't really all that useful, since you have to hold down the L and R button, and you're good. The only time I felt satisfied with a parry move was in that battle with those Cyclone enemies. Sonic has a skill tree in this game. This skill tree allows you to gain more abilities such as the Psy Loop, which allows you to draw circles and other shapes on the ground. You will also unlock moves that will help you in combat, which is nice, though there should have been more variety in the skill tree. Sonic will also encounter bosses. These bosses can range from annoying to fun, while trying to find out their weak point. Once you defeat the boss, you pick up these things known as portal gears. You use these portal gears onto these towers, and they will lead you to the cyberspace. These can be one of two things. The first are these traditional Sonic stages, in where you have to boost at the end of the goal. They're okay, with a lot of them ranging from 2 minutes to 30 seconds. One thing is that a lot of these stages were reused from previous Sonic games, specifically from Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Unleashed, and Sonic Generations. And they use the same 4 background themes: Green Hill, Chemical Plant, Sky Sanctuary, and the only new theme is Eternal Highway. So yeah, it's kind of disappointing that there aren't as many themes yet. And it's not really that fun to control Sonic in these worlds either, since his controls don't match with the overworld. I mean, who made these levels? The Sonic Forces designers? Though I will say the thing that kept me coming back to these cyberspace levels was the music. Every time I went into one of these, I wasn't excited to play the level. I wanted to hear the new music tracks that was going to play. They feel like they're kind of nostalgic to me, like I was transported back to the early 2000s. Anyways, the second type of cyberspace portals are the Cat fishing minigame. I just like how Big is just chilling in cyberspace, as he doesn't want to get out and all he wants to do is just fish. Anyways, it's another fun minigame you have to play, where you use these purple coins you get from the overworld and certain times at night. More on that later. Like the different fish you can collect, you can also go into these shops where Big just so happens to have Robotnik's voice logs, and they're a lot of fun to listen to. After going through the cyberspace, you collect these vault keys, which are used to open the containers carrying the Chaos Emeralds. Also, you can meet up with your friends who are corrupted through cyberspace and have little conversations with them. When you collect enough of their memory tokens, I like these because it allows Sonic to bond with his friends, something we haven't seen in a long time. And they have their own little side quests going on with the Coco. Oh yeah, there's these small little creatures known as the Coco that you have to collect, who, if you give to the Elder Coco, grant Sonic either faster climbing speed or a larger ring capacity, one at a time. Though why would you do this, since when Sonic is at his ring compatibility, he's able to go at his top speed, allowing him to traverse the land a lot faster. There's also another guy who's known as the Hermit Coco, who, if you give these berries to, levels up Sonic's offense and defense in combat, which I like. On certain nights, star bits from Super Mario Galaxy will fall from the sky, causing all of the enemies to rise once again. Though I don't really care, collecting these star bits will allow Sonic to get more purple coins, allowing Sonic to play the fishing minigame more. Finally, before we get to the main boss of the island, you have to play a small minigame before fighting him. These can range from gathering a herd of Coco to the mother, cutting grass with the side loop ability, bringing Coco to Knuckles while also trying not to get crushed, and playing Ikaruga. However, there are also minigames before the major bosses. The first is a difficult one since you have to line up all these lasers with one another. Seriously, who thought this was a good idea? The second one is kind of boring, since you have to play a crane game and it's kind of easy. And the third one, oh boy, the third one. This pinball minigame, in my opinion, is the best minigame out of them all! You control this ball that acts like a stone, so it's a lot easier to hit the red rings, making it a lot easier to score points. And it's 4 minutes to complete when you listen to some great Fantasy Zone inspired music.
So, let me just say for the record, I myself had an excellent time with that pinball minigame.
Why is everyone looking at me so funny? Anyways, once completing these minigames, it opens a path for you to head to the boss of the island. You climb on their backs, grab the final Chaos Emerald, and this might be the coolest part about the game. This makes me feel like I am a Sonic fan! You're flying at Supersonic as he knocks the wind out of these Titans with heavy metal music playing in the background while these Titans turn to Shin Godzilla? It's astonishing! So, after freeing all your friends and defeating all the Titans, your goal is to power down all these towers. This is where you learn about the ancients and how they were aliens who used the Chaos Emeralds to power their way of life, and how their enemies destroyed them. Meanwhile, Sonic throughout the entire game has been collecting the corruptions of cyberspace in this game, and once he turns off the final tower, he dies. No, like, he literally dies. Like, in Sonic 06. This causes his friends along with Eggman to escape cyberspace, and then Amy, Tails, and Knuckles save Sonic's life by going back into cyberspace, though Eggman stays and joins forces with Sonic, since Sage stated that the only way for Eggman to survive the Starfall Islands was for Sonic and Eggman to join forces together. Oh jeez, it's Lost World all over again! So, Sonic and Robotnik rush to collect all the Chaos Emeralds, and thus Sonic fights the final Titan. Though, it's not the true final boss. If you were playing on hard mode, you would fight the real final boss. The thing that was telling you to tear down the dimensions between walls. Supersonic and Sage go into space. Oh, and yeah, Sage is now considered like the Bowser Jr. of the franchise. And they play Ikaruga with The End. And then after The End speech, Sonic pisses on the moon and Sage dies. And that's the end of the game. Though if you watch the post-credits scene, you would know that Eggman reprogrammed Sage, teasing her return.
And that was Sonic Frontiers. A pretty good concept for an open zone Sonic game. But that's what it feels like. A proof of concept. Something that's great, don't get me wrong, but could be a lot better.
Just think of the possibilities for a potential sequel. An open world Sonic game with the challenges and combat from Frontiers mixed in with the art style more like a traditional Sonic game, and also add in actual momentum to make you really feel like you're going at supersonic speeds? I mean, this could be like the difference between Sonic Adventure 1 and Sonic Adventure 2. So, I just can't wait to see what they have in store for a sequel. Though we are getting DLC for the game later this year. Free DLC, which is great. I'm looking forward to seeing what the DLC has in store. Like the playable characters. Ah, yes. I just can't wait to play Big Frontiers.
Well, in the end, Sonic Frontiers is an excellent game, and I have given it an 8.3 out of 10. Well, that wraps up everything.
My name is Liam. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to do what every other YouTuber tells you to do. And I'll see you guys next time. Ah!